May I sit down? Of course, of course. Mr. Dodge, I'm Harry Potter. My dear boy, Arthur told me you were here disguised. I am so glad, so honoured. I thought of writing to you after Dumbledore, the shock. And for you, I am sure. I saw the obituary you wrote in the Daily Prophet. I didn't realize you knew Professor Dumbledore so well. As well as anyone. Certainly I knew him longest, if you don't count Aberforth. And somehow people never do seem to count Aberforth. Speaking of the Daily Prophet, I don't know whether you saw Mr. Dodge. Oh, please, call me Alpheus, dear boy. Alpheus, I don't know whether you saw the interview Rita Skeeter gave about Dumbledore. Oh yes, Harry, I saw it. The woman, or vulture might be a more accurate term, positively pestered me to talk to her. I am abashed to say that I became rather rude, calling her an inferring trout, which resulted, as you may have seen, in asperse cast upon my sanity. Well, in that interview, Rita Skeeter hinted that Professor Dumbledore was involved in the dark arts when he was young. Don't believe a word of it. Not a word, Harry. Let nothing tarnish your memories of Albus Dumbledore. Harry, Rita Skeeter is a dreadful... Rita Skeeter? Oh, I love her. Always read her. She's written a book about Dumbledore, you know. Hello, Muriel. We were just discussing. You there! Give me your chair. I'm 107. Hello again, Barry, or whatever your name is. Now, what were you saying about Rita Skeeter, Alpheus? You know she's written a biography of Dumbledore. I can't wait to read it. I must remember to place an order at Flourish and Blots. There's no need to look like a pair of stuffed frogs. Before he became so respected and respectable and all that tosh, there were some mighty funny rumours about Albus. All informed snipping. You would say that, Alpheus. I noticed how you skated over the sticky patches in that obituary of yours. I'm sorry you think so. I assure you I was writing from the heart. Oh, but we all know you worship Dumbledore. I dare say you still think he was a saint, even if he does turn out the way he did in that squib's sister. Muriel! What do you mean? Who said his sister was a squib? I thought she was ill. Thought wrong then, did you, Barry? Anyway, how could you expect to know anything about it? It all happened years and years before you even thought of it, my dear. And the truth is that none of us who were alive then never knew what really happened. That's why I can't wait to find out what Rita Skeeter's unearthed. Dumbledore kept her that sister of his quite for a long time. Untrue. Absolutely untrue. He never told me his sister was a scrib. Well, why on earth would he tell you anything? The reason Albus never spoke of Ariana is, I should have thought, quite clear. He was so devastated by her death. Why did nobody ever see her then, Alpheus? Why did half of us never even know she existed until they carried the coffin out of her house and held a funeral for her? Where was saintly Albus while Ariana was locked in the cellar, off being brilliant at Hogwarts, and never mind what was going on in his own house? What do you mean, locked in a cellar? What is this? Dumbledore's mother was a terrifying woman, simply terrifying, Muggle-born. I thought she was pretended otherwise. She never pretended anything of the sort. Kendra was a fine woman, proud and very domineering, the sort of witch who would have mortified a Bruce a squib. Ariana was not a squib. You say that, Alpheus, but explain then why she never attended Hogwarts. In our day, squibs were often hushed up, thought to make extreme of naturally imprisoning a little girl in the house and pretending that she didn't exist. I tell you that's not what happened. Squibs were unusually shipped off to Muggle schools and encouraged to interrogate into Muggle community, much kinder than trying to find them a place in the wizarding world, where they must always be second class. But naturally, Kendra Dumbledore wouldn't have dreamed of letting her daughter go to a Muggle school. Ariana was delicate. Her health was always too poor to permit her to leave the house, and yet she was never taken to St. Mungo's, and no healer was ever summoned to see her. Really, Muriel, how can you possibly know whether... For your information, Alpheus, my cousin Lancelot was a healer at St. Mungo's at the time, and he told my family in the strictest confidence that Ariana has never been seen there. All most suspicious, Lancelot thought. Now, if Kendra hadn't died first, I'd have said that it was she who finished off Ariana. How can you, Muriel? A mother kill her own daughter? Think of what you are saying. If the mother in question was capable of imprisoning her daughter for years on end, why not? But as I say, it doesn't fit, because Kendra died before Ariana, of what nobody ever seems sure.
Oh, no doubt Ariana murdered her. Why not?
Yes, Ariana might have made a desperate bid for freedom and killed Ariana in the struggle. Shake your head all you like, Alpheus. You were at Ariana's funeral, were you not?
Yes, I was, and a more desperately an occasion I can remember. Albus was broken-hearted.
His heart wasn't the only thing. Didn't Alberforth break Albus's nose halfway through the service?
How do you...
My mother was friendly with old Bathilda Bagshot. Bathilda described the whole thing to Mother while I was listening at the door, a coffin-side brawl, and the way Bathilda told it, Aberforth shouted that it was all Albus's fault that Ariana was dead, and then punching him. According to Bathilda, Albus did not even defend himself. That's odd enough in itself. But Albus could have destroyed Aberforth in a duel with both hands behind his back. And I'll tell you something else. I think Bathilda has spilled the beans to Rita Skeeter. All those hints in Skeeter's interview about that important source close to Dumbledore? Goodness, how knows they were all through Ariana's business, and it would fit.
Bathilda would never talk to Rita Skeeter.
Bathilda Bagshot, the author of A History of Magic.
Yes, a most gifted magical historian and an old friend of Albus's.
Quite gaga these days, I've heard.
If that is so, it is even more dishonourable for Skeeter to have taken advantage of her, and no reliance can be placed on anything Bathilda might have said.
Oh, there were ways of bringing back memories, and I'm sure Rita Skeeter knows them all. Even if Bathilda completely cuckoo, I'm sure she'll have old photographs, maybe even letters. I knew that Albus Dumbledore for years. Well worth a trip to Godric's Hollow, I'd have thought.
Bathilda Bagshot lives in Godric's Hollow?
Oh, yes, she's been there forever. The Dumbledores moved there after Peveril was imprisoned, and she was their neighbour.
The Dumbledores lived in Godric's Hollow?
Yes, Barry, that's what I just said. I simply can't dance anymore. Ron's gone looking for some more butterbeers. It's a bit odd. I've just seen Victor storming away from Luna's father. It looked like they'd been arguing. Harry, are you okay?
Oh! The Ministry has fallen. Scrimgeour is dead. They are coming.